welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment. And so today I am going to start first, and I'm going to start in regards to a documentary that I watched, or a docuseries, as they say, called Shiny Happy People Season 2. And it's really about teen mania. So now I lived through the 90s. I don't remember
anything about teen mania.
Never heard of it before. And we were in the church.
Yeah.
Almost.
But I guess it was because of our complexion. That might be why.
That could be it. So teen mania ended up being, well, let's go back. So this is a docuseries about what could be considered to be a religious cult. And basically, it was a gentleman.
Considered?
I mean, I'm getting to it, though. I'm getting to the part that, I mean, I can see where it started, but where it ended definitely made it more cult-like. But basically, it was the story of Ron Luce, Luce, L-U-C-E, Luce, I think is how he says it. But anyway, and so he was a minister who, I guess, as the religious right was trying to figure out how in the 90s, when everything was so secular, right? Everything was about sex and Beavis and Butthead and, all of the crazy things. You had Chucky, and you had all these girls, right? And you had the girls with the crop tops on and the low hanging pants. Yeah. The Gwen Stefani types, where
the button your fly jeans. Yeah, what's her name? Crawford.
Cindy Crawford.
Cindy Crawford. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Cindy Crawford on all of the blue jean.
Because of the fact that
she was doing Levi's, right?
She was doing the really tight jeans. But I don't know if that was the 90s, though.
Was it? I feel like
I don't feel like it was.
Maybe it was the late 90s.
I don't know. I thought it was before the 90s. But anywho.
Maybe.
So, so it basically was this ultra-conservative way in which, because things were getting a little, in their opinion, out of control in the 90s. You had all those MTV singled out. You had all these shows that just were about music and, everybody just throwing themselves on each other. You had all the goth things that were going on. You had Girls Gone Wild that were going on, and Victoria's Secret models, and the shows became really big during that time. Yeah. And then you also even had where it really felt like a sexploitation time, and when you think about it. And to me personally, I was just like, I didn't even pay any attention to it. I was more thinking of like, there's a Gulf War that's going on, and there's other things in the 90s. But where the religious right was paying their attention to was the fact that, hey, we need to rein in the youth. And in the process of this desire to rein in the youth, what they decided is that they really needed someone to step up and make sure that these kids were walking the right path.
Yes.
We're going to focus on saving themselves for marriage and getting themselves to the point of being like the upstanding citizens that are going to be family first.
Yeah, the upstanding Christian citizens.
Right. And in the process of that, they were looking for a strong, dynamic person to lead the movement. And that's where Ron Luce came in. And so basically, he was this motorcycle riding, like mullet wearing, shades wearing minister who, for the young kids, and I mean, when you think about it, a lot of times with different types of religions, and a lot of times the fire and brimstone screaming and yelling ministers were like the black pastors. They weren't necessarily the white pastors back then.
Yeah.
So for him to be a white pastor who also was going in like that, for Jesus, then it was like, oh my gosh, like he's really like doing like a great job. And by the way, like you were thinking of like Nickelback and Limp Bizkit and all these groups that were out back then. Well, he was having kind of a secular sounding music, but all with a religious tone to it in the church. So of course that would bring the kids in as well. So it was like all these different things that were really kind of starting this cyclone of, oh, we're just getting more and more kids who are going to be extremely religious and into this movement. And that's what it really started off as, just a religious movement of children who are like, look, I'm standing here and wanting my parents to send me off to go somewhere to be at a religious concert.
Yeah.
Like, I'm awesome.
That is the size of like coliseums. These are arenas full of teenagers.
That 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 teens that are all there just praying and crying and singing. And then what ends up happening is in the process of all of this, something shifts, something morphs. And so it ended up being that the kids did put on all the productions, they coordinated and choreographed all of the events that would happen. So if it's lighting, if it was, what do you call it when they do the spot fireworks and stuff? Pyrotechnics, all of that. That was handled by the teens with training. If it was the mics, all the AV stuff was the teens. So it became this thing where, we're giving teens the authority like an actual adult. We're making them become the adults. So kids would come to this teen mania. They would be like, oh my gosh, next year I want to run the production of the lighting, or I want to be in charge of the microphones, or whatever the case may be. And so anyway, long story short, it ended up being that, some youth may have come to join it because they were just angry, they were disgruntled, they felt like their voice didn't matter, and then they got to be in this environment where, hey, there's this mullet-wearing guy, and he's really nice, and he's making me feel seen and making me feel important.
He's really cool. He's a cool guy.
Super cool on his motorcycle and all of that. And so the kids, continue to do everything that they need to do. They weren't getting paid for any of it, but they were out there doing what they could do.
They were still going on mission trips.
And then I didn't even talk about that yet. Yep. So then they started these mission trips where the parents would have to send the kids, for mission trips. And then they would, raise money and go. And they were just supposed to, spread the word about the Lord. And maybe it's in Africa. Maybe it was at a Buddhist camp. It could be anywhere. But it was almost like they were targeting religious places where people had different religions and making it so like that we are converting them to Christianity.
Yeah. It's like, you don't know anything that's going on, so let me tell you about the good Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
And this is the way that you need to go.
Yep. And so now they did have one black guy in the documentary who basically was like, it was maybe 10 people in the whole production that looked like me. But he loved the theater part of what they did, and all of the acting and singing and things like that. So he was like, for me, it was fine. It was great. No problems whatsoever. So what you would do is in the 90s, a lot of times they would have these commercials come on, not really infomercials, but a little infomercial-y. And he would be on there, Ron Lush, and he would be talking about the fact that, hey, we got to raise this money. We got to send our kids on these mission trips to, spread the word about the Lord. Those mission trips, however, at some point, started to become like boot camps because he started to talk in a way of everything was military style.
No, it wasn't. It was a boot camp.
Yeah, it was a boot camp. But at first it started off with just the talk being like, we're at war, y'all. We're at war with everything that's out there that's secular, that's wrong, that's, teen pregnancy and blah, 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 blah. So, we're at war. Then it became, you're wearing the camouflage. Yeah. Then it became, you're going to boot camp. And they would literally be going physically out to, they would stay outdoors for days on end.
Carrying a cross like Jesus.
Bearing a cross.
A big, huge wooden cross. I'm pretty sure that they made.
That they would just drop them off somewhere and make a group of them carry this cross back to, in nowhere. They would just drop them off nowhere. And then one of the stories was that, they had us carrying this cross, and then somebody felt sorry for us, so they pulled the car over, like, are y'all okay? They were like, yeah, we're just carrying the cross for Jesus. And they said, looking back on it, they're like, oh my gosh, these people probably thought we were crazy.
They're probably just like, somebody call CPS for these kids.
The guy was like, I'll give y'all a ride, but y'all ain't bringing that cross. Sorry. I'm not going to scratch up the top of my car because of that. And then one of the girls started crying because she knew they couldn't come back without the cross. That would mean that they failed God. So therefore he was like, all right, put it on the car, kind of thing. So anyway, it just was a lot of different stories. It was stories of, You had one of the male singers who made songs for the church. He actually was gay. He was a father, husband, but he was gay. And so then it became, when he came out, everybody shunned him. Everybody turned against him. He lost, all of his, friends and following. I mean, he was very, very popular, almost famous within the community. But then it was like, nope. Not now. And then you had stories of people who, like one guy, he was out there with the drills, and actually it's the son of the singer. And he was out there with the drills and was like, doing all the stuff, and people were sick. They were throwing up. They were passing out, all of these things. And he ended up having appendicitis, I think, which ended up, he was in like India somewhere. And so they ended up cutting him and, doing his appendix. But then whenever his parents would talk to the people there, they would be like, oh, yeah, he's fine. He's healing great, whatever. One person got to a phone and was like, you need to go to the airport
and get
request for him to come home and go to the airport and meet him there and take him immediately to the emergency room, because it had already started to get infected. But they weren't telling his parents anything. And so it was just craziness, like the things that were going on. I didn't see anything or hear anything about him with any scandals with any people, because a lot of these cults, it's like now all of a sudden you got kids, about 15 people in the cult or something like that.
But he didn't have any kids at all, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So I'm wondering if he might have been.
I didn't hear him say that he was married or anything.
That's why I'm wondering if he was part of the Lojibitiquas with us.
I don't.
And then
know.
that was the way for him to get his big. He gets all the attention, his big debut and being out there, but he's just actually was not doing anything.
No idea, but it goes down the path of teen mania that then goes down to a battlefield, something of another. And teen mania went all across the country. Like it was Georgia, it was Oklahoma, it was Texas, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And then it ended up being that, so they had all these different corps and boot camps and this and that. And like all of these things just kept growing and growing and growing and getting more and more and more intense. And the kids were in it and they were like blinded by it. Like they were just like, oh my God, I got to go to the next thing. And I got to continue to prove myself. And it was not even that they were thinking they had to prove themselves for Ron. They really felt like, I have to prove myself to God. I have to prove that I can handle this heat and that I can continue on even if they make me get in this water and it's like I'm scared to death of water, but they're making me get in water that's covering my mouth. It's so high. It's going up to my mouth, almost to my nose, and I'm scared to death and I'm breathing really hard, but I can't hyperventilate. I got to keep going for God, So it was like all of these different things that were just happening that just...
Yeah, them poor kids.
It was a lot. And even like to this day, as they're telling some of the stories, they are emotional. Like they are crying. They are sad. They are, you can tell that people have gone through depression, that people have really had to try to figure out, who am I? Like I literally lived through something and I have no idea who I am because I was a part of a cult and didn't know it. And you second guessing yourself, like, how did this happen to me? How did I morph from being just a fun-loving young kid to being excited about something that I feel like God put on my heart, to then realizing that somebody morphed that into
their own agenda.
Really their own, like, soldiers, their own army.
Yeah.
Like that's really what he was doing.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
was creating his own army.
Creating a teen army.
A teen army.
To fight the devil for Jesus.
Right. Yes. But by any means necessary though. So that's the bad part too, is that it's like, I mean, he basically told them, if you have to die, because Columbine happened during all this time.
That's true.
And it was like, look, if you have to die for Jesus, you have to die. Like, you have to be willing to die. And it's like, oh my gosh. And people were like, yes, that's how I have to be.
I want to be a martyr.
Yes, I have to be willing to die for God, and it's like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, now they're thinking back on it and they're like, what in the world was I thinking? Like, if I had come across a gunman, then I probably would have said, well, let me stand in front of the bullet to save everybody else, kind of scenario. So, and I mean, they literally had people coming from all over the world to participate in these summits. And then all of a sudden, you did have one person who just started like a blog. Something had happened where she was like, you know what, enough is enough, I'm out. And then she started a blog. And in the process of it, she was like, is anybody else out there like me who was like involved in teen mania, but realized some stuff was really weird and strange about it, and you had some kind of feeling some kind of way about it? And all of a sudden, these testimonials started pouring in, and people like, oh, yeah, my leg got broken, and they basically didn't even try to help me during one of the boot camp sessions. Like, what some of them dealt with, they thought was horrific, but then as the blog came out, they realized, oh, no, this is even worse.
Yeah,
like, some of these other areas are even worse than what we had to deal with. And so it just became more and more and more, and all of a sudden, it was just more people were paying attention to it. She was trying to and wanting to work with the organization to say, look, board members, do y'all know that this is going on? You need to address this. These are people who participated in teen mania, and they're not being able to feel like they can have their voices heard. They're being hurt. They're sick. They're this, they're that. They're depressed, suicidal, all this stuff. Board members, what are y'all going to do? And when they didn't do anything and they just turned a blind eye to it, almost like they knew it was happening, then that's when she said, okay, we just got to get the media involved. And then once she got the media involved,
then they wanted to start
that's when everything basically crumbled. It crumbled because no parents were now going to send their kids to that because they didn't know how bad it actually was.
Yeah, they were just going off the kids being excited to go, but not knowing how in depth.
And the kid might have come back with a hurt leg or something, but they might have just been like, oh my gosh, like kids will be kids and things.
Yeah, but then
happen.
also the kids are probably going to be like, yeah, I was doing everything I could for the Lord.
Yeah. I'm right. I was trying to
didn't follow the directions.
Yeah, I was trying to be a soldier for God. So, this is what happens. It's a part of warfare. So, yeah, but people were treated horribly. It ended up being a whole spiral, and all the things that happened, with that, and the people who stood with the original person. And there may even be some people today that haven't, you know what I mean? And this is like 30 years later. Exactly. And, they'll talk about Ron now and what's gone on since then and all of that. But it is a spiral in so many different directions. And you hear from so many different people in their stories. You have a brother and sister in there that their dad was the one who was gay. And then you have where you have the black guy, his story. You have a person who wrote a book. And he was telling all the information about, just giving everything up and celibacy and saving yourself and doing this and doing that and just being the right person. He was going on talk shows like Geraldo or Donahue or something like that, talking about it. And now he's like, I wish I had never, I am so sorry to all the people who even bought my books back then. Because he was this young, cute guy who was just going around the country just saying, abstinence is the way to go, and not, and I mean, that's fine, but it's like, but then it was all these other things that went along with it
which
that
would
made
make it worse.
So that, right, and every time somebody would bring up something, he had something to say about it, and then I ended up watching another clip after this. It started down this whole rabbit hole, right? And so it was like, it's actually not even a clip after this. It is the end of the movie, actually. It is bleak. It is extremely, extremely bleak.
I don't think I saw that. I don't know if I finished it.
Yeah, because what it is that, so they had this last part of the, I don't know what you want to call it, like his series. So Teen Mania, and then it went into the battlefield, and then it went into this and the core, blah, 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 like all this. And then I think Battle Cry was the very last one that they had before everything started to dismantle. But basically what the documentary covers at the end is how this is still happening today. Oh. In regards to what the religious right is trying to do in the way in which they are marketing things and the way in which they are still trying to engage with, the teens or different people in the world. Like it's basically an outline for Project 2025.
I was about to say,
and it really walks through everything in regards to that, to the point that I was like, wow, we are like watching all this unfold in front of our eyes. And so I'll just have you to watch it yourself. But anyway, Shiny Happy People. Season 2. I talked way too long on this. Yeah. Tiny Happy People Season 2 on Prime. And it is, I don't know if they actually had a name for it other than Teen Mania. I just know it just said Shiny Happy People Season 2. But when it first comes on, it starts talking about Teen Mania. Season 1 was all about the Duggars.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah,
the 20 and counting, or 21 and
19 and counting, and then the brother is it was the thing about the brother mainly, about the brothers. His him doing stuff with his siblings.
Gotcha. Okay. So what you have, sis?
All right, you want to hear about my documentary?
Yes.
Okay, guys, get ready.
It's going to blow us away?
It's going to blow you away. Please put your seatbelts on. The light's about to turn green. We're revving up. Okay. So let me tell you the name of this documentary.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you exactly how it's written. Okay. The Truth About Jussie Smollett. ? So it's The Truth About Jussie Smollett? That is the name of the documentary. Literally, The Truth About Jussie Smollett, ?
So then you leave it understanding everything there is to know about Jussie Smollett, right?
You know nothing about what happened. The same thing that I saw in this documentary
is the same thing.
Thing I knew from the news. The only difference is now I'm hearing from the police officers the background stuff that they did. That's like, I don't really need to know the background stuff, but I get where this is coming from. Yeah. Okay. Nobody needs to watch this.
Okay.
There's no reason. If you watched the news in 2020, then you knew what happened.
Okay.
Jussie Smollett was a actor on the TV show Empire.
Yep.
Now, it's 2020, COVID hits. We had all of the things happen with Floyd, with George Floyd.
Yes.
And then that starts the protest and everything. Yep. Now, what happens is Jussie Smollett is flying into Chicago. He gets his creative director. I didn't know that was a thing. What's a creative director?
I don't know.
Whoever this guy is, he's getting paid to do. I have no idea.
Just for him or for the whole show?
No, I guess it's just for him.
Oh, because I'm sure shows have a creative director, but I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Well, if the show has a creative director,
I don't know. Anyway.
I didn't see why he had to pick up Jussie from the airport.
No, that's a good point.
That's what I was like, wait, what? Anyway, so, he picks him up from the airport. I think his name is Frank Gaston. Frank Gaston, which apparently he's been a creative director for Destiny's Child, Beyonce, or something like that. I heard all of this today.
Okay.
But I don't know if this is true. This is allegedly. As far as with him. Now, what happened was he drops Jussie off at his apartment. Jussie says, so I get all my stuff out, blah, 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 and then I'm hungry. So he said, I walked to Walgreens across the street, down the street. You're hungry, so you walk to Walgreens? And then he said,
I thought he said Subway.
He said they were closed.
24-hour
Walgreens was closed, so he had to go across the street to Subway. I'm sorry, if I'm hungry, I'm going to Subway to get something to eat.
To get something to eat.
The place that sells food.
Was he just thinking, I'll just grab some chips?
No, he got a whole sub.
No, but I'm saying, was it like, I'm going to go to Walgreens? Like, I look out my window, I see Walgreens is right there. I didn't know there was a Subway, so let me just go ahead and walk to Walgreens right across, because I look out my window and I see it, and I can get some chips, I can get, a candy bar or something small.
I'm going to let y'all know. It's going to be some spoilers, but you probably already know.
And you said not to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a spoiler, you already know it. Possibly.
Okay, gotcha.
So he goes into Subway, he gets his stuff, as he says, he is in this documentary. So now, as he is walking back, he says, all I hear is, this is MAGA country, you bundle of sticks, if you know what that means, or a cigarette in the UK.
I have no idea. Oh,
yeah, okay. So it says that, and then calls him,
I think I know.
Yeah. And then calls him what they used to call black people in the United States. Okay. So this is what it said, and he said originally he hears, hey, Empire. Okay, first of all, thank you. You picking up when I'm putting it down, and I ain't even put it down yet. Okay. If you are trying to say that These people are saying it's MAGA country. The last thing anybody in MAGA country is going to do is watch Empire, which is a show about a black record label.
Right.
And the family who made the record label.
Yep.
So he said he hears Empire, Empire. I'm thinking, Jussie, you think that you are more famous than you actually are.
I think that's
You think that you're your sister, but I'm going to need you to back it up because you're not.
Nope.
Now, I'm sure he's a fantastic person. I don't want to talk very bad about him, but this just makes you... It just makes you be like, bro, why are you just going to
participate in this documentary?
I don't know. But listen, okay, so he could tell his side of the story. So he said that they came up to him. They were fighting with him. He said he tried to fight back, and then they got him on the ground, and then they ended up kicking him in his back, and one of them was punching him in the face. And then he said they ran off.
Okay.
Now, at no point in time is he saying anything about anything being around his neck.
Right.
Now, what you see is he's supposed to have come back into his apartment and went upstairs, right? My thing is, if you just got your tail whooped and you have your phone, because he said he was on the phone with somebody, and you have your phone, why aren't you calling 911?
Right.
Because you just got your tail whooped by some people who are coming at you.
So he felt he was hurt enough to call 911?
No, he didn't call 911.
I mean, but I'm just saying, did he just feel like, oh, I got beat up, but let me go sleep it off?
Oh, I'm going to I don't know what he was thinking because he wasn't thinking anything.
Okay.
He comes inside, and it's like he was strategically going everywhere the cameras were.
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's just how it seems. He comes inside, he walks into the door of his apartment complex, and then you see him, he's all frantic, and he's looking around. And then he goes upstairs, and he's like shuffling to get upstairs. But guess what he still got in his hand? That Subway footlong.
So he got beat up, everything with that Subway footlong.
If I'm about to get jumped and I have a Subway footlong in a
you
bag,
gotta drop it to use both your hands to fight.
I'm either gonna drop it or else I'm gonna throw it at one of them.
Yeah,
so then
hit them with it, something.
Yeah, something, right? They said the sub was perfectly intact.
Oh, wow. That's part of their investigation.
So now he didn't call 911. His creative director called 911.
Where was the creative director?
I have no idea. I don't ask those questions because they're not going to give you no answers because nothing in this documentary gave me an answer. Okay. So now Frank is walking the police up, and it's like, okay, yeah, here you go. He's an actor, so, he's famous, so he doesn't want it to be all in the news and everything about what happened. They walk into the apartment. This man has a noose tied around his neck. When I say a noose, don't think of what I'm saying. Think of your grandma had some extra rope or string, really thin, probably thinner than your pinky. That's just like out like twine.
That's what it was?
Around his neck. So what my thing is, how long were you sitting in your apartment with this noose tied around your neck? So you're trying to tell, okay.
Speechless.
Because you're trying to tell me that these two supposedly white guys, because he says it was police, he tells the police it was white guys. These two white guys screaming MAGA country had a noose in their back pocket.
Yeah.
While they're walking through the streets of Chicago while it's an ice storm.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else really on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just going around trying to find somebody to lynch? Is that what you're trying to tell me? With something that wouldn't be able to hold up a tire swing. So how is it going to hold you up?
Right.
Okay.
How long was this string? This noose?
This was a brand new, okay, so when you get like a kite and the string is wrapped around
that thing, that big circle thing.
Yeah, so it was like
very intricately wrapped.
Yeah, it was something, it looked like that. But but the string was long.
So he was just walking around the apartment, everything with this long string hanging from his body.
But okay, the microphone cable is the same like gauge as that string.
So maybe it was so light he didn't even feel it. He didn't even know it was there.
No, because when the police came in, he's like, "You see this? They got a noose around my neck." And the police were like, "You still have that on? You want to take that off?" He was like, "Oh yeah, let me go ahead and take that off." Okay, I'm sorry. One of the police officers said, he was, I think like the chief or something like that, but he said, "I'm sorry, if it comes to Black Americans, if somebody puts a noose around your neck and threatens, like is threatening you, as soon as they run off,
it's like
you're
visceral.
gonna take that noose. I mean that you're gonna take it off.
Yeah.
And you're gonna throw it down with disdain, disgust.
Yeah, you're just gonna be right.
You're not gonna walk blocks or a block back to your apartment, sit in your apartment until the police came, and then whatever. Jussie said, "Oh yeah, no, I had taken it off. I didn't sit in my apartment for 35 minutes with it on my neck. I took it off, but when the police were coming in, then I put it back on so they could see what it was like.
What had happened.
So you trying to tell me you had to put it back on your neck for them to know?
Yeah,
that's
what had happened to him.
Okay, if I was a police officer, if I was one of those police officers,
you would have called it off right there.
I'd have been like,
over.
Bruh, is that what your grandma used to knit you a sweater? What is this? I don't understand. Like, no, it's okay. All right. So now this is the first few minutes.
Okay.
So now we keep going.
I don't know why you even said not to watch it, but now I'm intrigued and I want to.
So now you keep going. Now he's telling people it's white guys, right? And then the police are now looking for white guys that had, what do they call it? Baklavas?
Baklavas.
I thought it was baklava is the, whatchamacallit, and baklavas are the face masks.
What is it? Yeah, but I thought it was well, I don't know, because the only time I hear them talk about the face mask,
the poo shiesties, right,
is when I'm looking at Law of Duty, and they say it with the British accent, so that's why it sounds like to me they're saying baklava.
Okay, well that's what he says. That's what he says.
Baklava.
But but my thing is, why are you going to say that? But he also said that it was open to where you could see. It was cut to where it was wide, like goggles, like you could, like it wasn't just the eye holes. Oh, it was open all the way, so it goes. The opening goes across the nose and across the eyebrows and everything. It's not just the eyes. Yeah. Then later on, somebody says, "Oh yeah, I saw the guys, and they were white guys, and they had holes in their mask, so I could see their eyes, and I could see around their eyes." So was it that it was open around the eyes, or was it closed around? Who was the person that saw this when it didn't even potentially happen? The person who saw it, when he's getting off work, he talks about how I'm leaving from work, and these guys run past me. He said, and I saw them, and they were white guys. It was two white guys. He said, the only reason I know because I do security. So when they were running up close to me, I put my flashlight up so I could see their face. Okay. And he said, one of the white guys looked at me. He was like, I could see through the holes in the mask. In the mask, that it was a white guy. Okay. They got the camera footage. Okay. There is a 10-second blip where you don't see anything. You see this man walk to the door. Okay. And then you see two men run by him while he's walking outside. It's like a blip of 10 seconds where he's at the door, pushing the door open. Yeah. And then the next thing it clips to is him walking outside of the building and the guys running past him. Okay. Where's that 10 seconds? Right. Where's that 10 seconds? Now, Jussie is
and plus, who are these two guys running by? So did it happen or didn't it happen?
This is the thing. So this is the whole
I'm
thing.
So confused.
So now Jussie is saying, that's what I'm saying. It's the most confusing documentary ever. Jussie is saying that it was two white guys. Yes. Then they are the police are trying to figure out what's going on. They end up looking around to see if there was any ride shares, if there was cabs or anything. Okay. There was a cab that dropped some two guys off for them to get out of the car and walk across the street to get in a ride share. Oh. So the cab driver was like, I thought it was a little suspicious that they got out the car with me to then go and get in like a car for like a Lyft or Uber or something. So then they follow that trail and it goes to like a block away from the home of one of these two guys. Now the guys actually end up being extras on Empire. These two big black buff Nigerian dudes. Now, they're like, okay, we now see from, they go and find out, they get the guys' names from the rideshare, go on social media, see that they are extras, see that them taking pictures with Lee Daniels, and then they're like, okay, well then let's see how this is together. He said it was two white guys. How do we not know it's two black guys? Right. These were the only guys that were in that area. There was the only Lyft or Uber that was in that area that night. Right. Oh, wow. Because it was ice. Because it was icy. Now, they go and want to go get the guys. They can't get the guys. You know why? Because the guys have now flown to Nigeria. So now the police are like, so we're just going to sit on this information. But they don't tell Jussie that. So now when they get back from Nigeria, they grab them on a tarmac and was like, put your hands behind your back, put them in the car. Never saw a Miranda right read to them at all. They have them, and apparently you can hold somebody, detain somebody for 48 hours before you have to
Read
let
them
them
their
go.
rights.
But I don't know if you have to read them their rights. You either have to, I guess, arrest them or let
make
them
a
go.
decision. Yeah, I think I've seen that on TV.
So, which is dumb. But they end up not talking to the police. Like, yo, I don't know. Like, y'all ain't telling us nothing. We're not telling you nothing. You know, they were like, hey, what are we in here for? Am I arrested or something? They were like, we don't know what you're in here for, but you just need to have a seat.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
All right, so go ahead, ask your question.
No, go ahead.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so now they call Jussie and say, hey, need you to come down to the station. I think that we got your perpetrator.
Okay.
Jussie shows up, and they put out all black dudes in front of him, and he was like, what is this? These are all black guys. I told you it was two white guys, and was like, no, we got a lead that is two black guys. And he's like, no, it's not, blah, 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 blah.
I misseen.
Then they showed him a video clip. Are these the two guys that are walking across the street? You think that's them? He said, I believe it. Definitely that's them. You just gave up.
Yeah.
So, and then, now these young guys are still in the holding cell.
Who ran? Did those people run past?
So it was supposed to have been after they beat up Jussie, then they ran off, and for them to run off,
they ran past
that other guy.
Okay, but that guy must not have put his thing up to see that they were black.
We don't know because 10 seconds is gone out of the.
But he said that he saw
security
them as white.
Yeah, but then also Jussie is a celebrity, so maybe he just wants to get some clout.
Yeah. It's like people with the sidewalk interviews where they just lie, like, "Oh, did you see that the BET Awards were last night?" And they're like, "Oh my God, it was great, and then Beyonce looked amazing." And it's like, and the awards happened 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, go ahead.
So now, the guys, they're like, the police are telling the guys, like, they're fingerprinting them and everything. It's like, yeah, you about to go down. Mm-hmm. And now the guys call their mother and was like, Mom, we need a lawyer. The lawyer that they get actually ends up being, their mom is a Lyft driver. And their mom drove a Lyft for a little Hispanic girl. And she said, you know what? You are so sweet and your sons are so handsome. If you ever need a lawyer, you call me. And that's how she became their lawyer.
How she got involved. Okay.
Now, she said that she snuck a phone in to them to show them, hey, Jussie went on Robin Roberts and did an interview and said that the two people were the ones that beat him up. And they was like, wait, he said that we did it, because they're saying that it's us. The police are telling us it's us. Yeah. But they never told Jussie that it was them. So they were like, nah, we ready to talk to the cops. Let's go. That's when they told the cops, oh yeah, he paid us $3,500 in a check over like 5 months or something like that, for them to beat him up.
Right.
And okay, so now,
so he's like turning on the people that he paid to do it, and
but he doesn't know that.
But seriously though. Oh, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know that the cops
He
doesn't know the cops have the Nigerians. Gotcha. He doesn't know that the two people that he sees running on all the security cams are the Nigerians.
I got it. Now.
Yes. Yeah. So then they show.
Who else would have been out there running though?
Thank you. Then they show the Nigerians buying stuff from a store where they bought everything. Let me buy a ski mask. We need to get some gloves. Let me get this red MAGA hat. They are like literally in like a convenience store, standing side by side, like buying everything. Okay,
now perpetrate this fraud.
Now it goes from, I don't know how it goes from Jussie being the victim to now Jussie about to do some jail time, because they're like, okay, so you just frauded. I guess because it was a false complaint,
and you're wasting taxpayers' money with having the cops doing all this investigations and all of that. Yeah.
So he had some issues with that, but then when he went to court, it was supposed to be him against the two brothers.
Okay.
Went to court for that because he's like, they're saying, bro, you put us up to it, and he's saying, I didn't say it was y'all, it was two white guys. And now Jussie is saying the cops are the ones that are crooked, because if you look in the history of Chicago police, that this is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is what happened. It's like, okay, I understand that, but now you're just being like, okay, so I'm in Chicago and it's bad. It's like me saying that, oh yeah, I'm in Richmond, and then Richmond cops
Richmond's horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. But so it's like, so now you're just trying to put all the focus on the police officers. But you're saying there's two white guys, but there's nothing else being said. But it was two white guys. It was two white guys. There was nothing else being said about these two white guys. You ain't say nothing about their voice. You ain't say nothing about anything. You just said that they said it's MAGA country. UFN.
Yep.
So, after all of that happens, the Nigerians are good to go. They're cleared out. And Jussie is getting ready, is all done. They're paying for the court and everything. So it became like nothing happened with them. Jussie,
that's what I was going to figure out. That's the part that
Jussie ended up having to pay a certain amount of money or something like that, and forfeit his bond because they were trying to say that he was the one who set everything up originally. Mm-hmm. So then after that, it was, okay, now we need a new district attorney or whatever, to go ahead and try him for all of the money that the I guess Chicago had put out towards him. So it was $120,000 he had to pay back, plus like $50,000 for something else, and he had 150 days that he was going to be on like a probation thing, and then they had him locked up for a few days or a certain amount of days. No, he was supposed to be locked up for 150 days, but on probation for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Then he gets out before the 150 days, and now he said he took time for himself so he would be able to tell his story and tell the truth. Okay.
So that's where he is now. So it's like he can't get double jeopardy against him. Yeah. So therefore he's like, now I can tell my story.
Yeah, but his story is the exact same story from before. And they interviewed the two brothers.
Yeah.
And the two brothers in the new interview, they were just like, oh yeah, no, he paid us. Like, we didn't want to give out his business. We were waiting for him. But it was like he was saying we were waiting for him to say it, because it's not our place to say anything. He's the one that's now in trouble. If he just goes ahead and tells the truth,
right?
This go from there. And then it was the opportunity, because then the guys were like, oh yeah, now we're on red carpets for different events because of the fact that we are celebrities because we beat up Jussie Smollett because he paid us to. So
and now people are like, good riddance. Good. I'm glad y'all beat him up.
And then now the funniest part is one of the brothers, Abel couldn't figure out the name of the book that the brothers are putting out. So he kept asking his brother, Ola. He was like, yeah, so we're coming out with a book, and the book is the lynching of, all right, wait, what is it again? And then the brother says it. He's like, it's the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And basically the book is something like, I can't remember what the name was, but it was something like what happens to make somebody have a modern day lynching, or fake a modern day lynching, is basically what you learn. Nothing.
All the stuff that you already
This is one thing that really got me. There were these two ladies who did their own investigation after everything was over.
Okay.
Now, one lady's in the UK. She's looking around to try to find all these camera footages and everything. She found one camera footage that the cameras were like night vision, so you could see, it looked like daytime through the camera.
Yeah.
And you see one guy walking by, and then you see another guy walking by. The first guy who walks by is a African American. Everybody says, that's a white guy.
What?
How did I don't know. I don't understand. Is everybody colorblind?
Was it one of those black and white
It was color. I could see that the car that they walked by was red.
Okay, because I was going to say, sometimes the black and white, then it ends up being that, the person looks like it's like negative.
Let me tell you something. Every black person that looked at that video said, that's a black man.
Right.
Everybody who was not of color.
Yeah.
Well, everybody who was not black, actually, was like, those are white people.
Okay.
What? You can clearly see this dude, he got a line up and he got like the mask across his nose and everything, but he got a big black shiny forehead. You can't tell me that that's not a black man. The whole documentary just frustrated me to where I was like, now I've wasted an hour and some change of my life for no reason because I still have no information.
Nothing. No, absolutely.
So now I guess whoever watches it, if you want to watch it, I'm trying to tell you, there's no reason to. Unless you want to get your own opinion, you can figure out what the ending is going to be.
Right.
Whatever you want to make it be. He was innocent, and it was two white guys that watch Empire that beat him up and put a, I don't know, knitted noose around his neck, or he paid off the Nigerian dudes.
I'm just thinking of the knitted noose as you said that.
Because, I mean, when I tell you how thin this string was.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch it.
We were raised on the farm, so you know when you have a hay bale.
Yeah.
That twine.
Yeah, that twine like that, yeah.
That's what he had around his neck, but it was white. Bruh, if you don't go sit down somewhere.
Like, who would believe that other than when he told the guys to get rope, the Africans got that kind of rope.
Yeah.
So therefore, that was the only kind of rope
because they could have been like,
with.
oh, maybe he thinks we need to tie him up. They did. I don't even know.
They might have thought it was around his arms or something.
And you know what? I didn't even think about
Around
looking
his
back
legs.
and seeing if when he's coming inside, if he has it around his neck or not. I didn't even think about looking at that. Seeing if he had a noose around his neck.
He might have had it in the room.
He probably did. Or he had it in a Subway bag because maybe Walgreens was open and he went to go buy it at Walgreens.
The 24-hour Walgreens.
The 24-hour, that was
Yeah.
just happened to be closed.
Maybe his director gave it to him. Was the director investigated?
And you know what? That chick, Angel, she said, why didn't anybody investigate Frank Gaston about what was happening? Because she's like, she said, it has to be somebody else that was into this. That was a part of all of this.
He knew something. He knew he walked in there with that little flimsy noose around his neck and could have been like, if you had walked in and you're my sister, you would have been like, I just got beat up and you put this noose around my neck. I would be like, wait, what? Yeah. Like, what is that?
Stop lying to me.
That doesn't seem right. Are you getting ready to call the cops about this? Because that don't seem right.
Yeah, don't call them.
Don't call them.
Yeah. Maybe we should just go talk to somebody. Yeah. But it just leaves you hanging.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a waste of my time, and now I'm sorry that I wasted everyone else's time. But hopefully I was animated enough that it actually, was enjoyable for you to listen to the crap that I watched.
Minutes. No,
The crap that I watched of Jussie Smollett. Because, I'm trying to tell you.
It was a lot,
It was a lot, and it was nothing at the same time. You giving me a whole bunch of information I already know.
Coffee table book about nothing.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep.
That turns into a coffee table.
Yeah.
All right. So I say don't watch that, but it's on Netflix if you want to. And it's called The Truth About Jussie Smollett. That's that. The Truth About Jussie Smollett. Question mark at the end.
Oh my gosh, because they knew that they didn't even have the truth. They knew they didn't even have anything.
In the first 5 minutes, when I see Jussie come and sit down, I said, this is either his documentary that he wanted to do himself.
He paid for himself. But you shouldn't put a question mark on your own documentary.
Yeah, but I didn't even know the name of it. I just saw him, and I was like,
why would he put a question mark on his own documentary? No. This is his side, his story.
Yeah, but it's not his documentary. Yeah, actually somebody did a documentary. And he said, yes, I would love to be a part of this so I can tell my truth.
Well, and it goes back to his narcissistic behavior of wanting to be the center of attention.
Oh, yeah,
because we now know.
Yeah, because that's what the chief had said. It was like, this is actually a stunt because he was trying to get more money from his show. And he figured that if he, with everything that was going on in the United States, if he went ahead and did that, then it would get some sympathy.
Yeah. And being gay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And being gay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, wait. But you got kicked in the back. You messed up some of your ribs and everything were beaten up. But then a couple of days later, you were doing a whole concert in a little small bar.
Oh, he supposedly messed up ribs?
I don't know. He said that he was all jacked up.
But
look, he
those
gets
guys ain't going to hit him that hard. They got to go to set with him in like 2 months.
no. They only had the one scene. I guess. So. But yeah, no, dude was like, one of them was like, yeah. So I hit him. He said, I hit him pretty hard, but I didn't want to hit him too hard because I wanted him to get a couple of swings in on me because that's what he said he wanted. He was like, but then when we got him on the ground, we just kept going. And then we ran off. I'm sorry. If somebody's going to pay me to beat them up, I'm going to beat your ASS. You're going to learn your lesson today. Oh, my. You didn't tell me how.
I know. You'd be like, wait, hold up. Stop hitting me so hard. You can't say nothing. They're going to catch you on camera. Yeah. You can't tell us how to beat you.
Don't you know that CCTV got audio now?
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Letter of the law. But anyway, yes.
Letter of the law.
Yeah. Truth about Jussie Smollett. It's up to you if you want to watch it. Like I said, it's on Netflix. Just save your time.
All right, I'm going to call Audible because I know you have some hot topic-y things that you want to talk about, and we only have like 10 minutes left. So I would rather you go ahead and talk about those things, and because those are more important than what I have.
Oh, I got important things?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
So...
And they're more time sensitive for the peeps.
Oh, yeah. So one thing is... slavery, according to Texas Public School Library books. Here we go.
Today from her Texas Public School Library, entitled African Americans in the Colonies.
Just to pause that for a second. If you were on TikTok, her name is Casey Davis. She has a blue check. She's official, whatever. So yeah, let me let you hear this.
Let me get you with some highlights. The first black people in Jamestown were a group of Africans from Barbados. They were brought there by Dutch traders, and Englishman John Rolfe bought them. The blacks probably spoke English, and like English indentured servants, might have eventually earned their freedom. Antonio, a Negro, arrived in Jamestown in 1621. He was owned by the Bennett family, who praised his hard work and loyalty. Antonio married a black woman named Mary, eventually earned his and his family's freedom. He became a landowner and changed his name to Anthony Johnson. In the early days of Jamestown, settlers didn't use words like white or black to describe themselves. They would refer themselves or each other as English, Christian, or perhaps servants, who could be either white or black. Anthony Johnson enjoyed the same rights, freedom, and respect as any white servant who became successful by working hard. But as tobacco farms became bigger, the need for laborers grew, and the amount of English people willing to come to America as indentured servants was shrinking. So they turned to slavery. Slavery was not new to the people from Africa, where warring tribes often turned prisoners into slaves. In Africa, slaves lived and worked with the family who owned them. Slaves were considered unequal, but they were treated like other family members. This is similar to the experiences of early slaves in America, who worked alongside their white owners and probably slept in the same house. The first Africans in North America spent time among the Europeans. They could speak English and often converted to Christianity. They sometimes won their freedoms by claiming that as Christians they deserved it, or they bought their freedom with the money they earned in their free time. By the mid-1600s,
in their free time.
What slave got free time? Is that why you sleep?
And what money did you earn?
Well, first of all, you have to have free time in order to win to earn some money, right?
I'm so confused by
so therefore, if you don't have free time, then you don't have no money. Yes. So basically, this is a book that's in the public library in Texas, and it's just basically saying slavery wasn't that bad. No. Come on, the Africans came over here and could speak English. What are you talking about?
They were speaking English. They even stayed in the same house and worked right beside
their owners. First of all, how are you going to say beside an owner in the same sentence?
Exactly. Why would the owner be out there?
I don't even
Other than to oversee.
Yes. Well, some more tomfoolery of the United States government. Let's go ahead into this.
Look out, folks. This is huge news that everybody in the United States needs to know about, so you need to share this information widely because it could impact your health. Did you know that the CDC quietly pared down its food safety monitoring 2 months ago? That's right. Because of funding cuts, FoodNet, which is the federal food safety system that normally monitors for different germs, had to pare down the 8 that they routinely monitor down to just 2. That's right. They're paring it down to just 2 germs that they're actively looking for at the federal level. So right now, they're only looking for salmonella and Shiga toxin producing E. coli. Before, they were looking at Campylobacter, Cyclospora, Listeria, Shigella, Vibrio, and Yersinia.
So no more looking for listeria. Remember that was
Listeria shows up every.
wasn't that in
months, I
all
feel like.
yeah, that was in all
On
of the
lettuce?
it was the lettuce, it was like the processed foods and everything. Okay. All right.
So now we'll all have listeria. What does listeria do to your body?
Apparently it's another plague. I don't know. We're just
I'm gonna
plagued
look it
out.
up.
It's the end of the United States. That's what it feels like. Here we go.
Those aren't harmless pathogens. Those all can cause severe disease and potentially kill people, and they don't have enough funding now to be able to alert people about these various pathogens, and it's going to rely on state-level food safety systems in order to be able to identify these issues. And at the state level, some states don't even have enough funding to be able to do this properly. Therefore, we're at risk of having additional foodborne illness outbreaks, and people will be harmed unnecessarily. What you can do is talk to your legislators about funding food safety, because more surveillance equals safer food. Holy cow, folks, this is huge.
Yeah. So, grow your own food. That's all I have to say about that. Nobody likes us.
I was just looking at listeria, fever, headaches, watery diarrhea, nausea, and aches in your joints and muscles.
Sounds like COVID to me.
Well, they're probably gonna
They're hand
make
in
it
hand.
seem like, oh, you have that going on. Maybe it's your test is coming back as negative, but you're probably positive for the flu or COVID, and then lo and behold, you have listeria.
Well, no, I mean they'll be able to tell you if you have listeria. It's just that the seeds.
They won't be able to warn you in advance that there's even an outbreak.
hey.
Like everything that just went to Walmart has listeria on it. Like right now, everything,
Let's say-
the shrimp.
Yeah, the shrimp.
The
That's,
shrimp
what
with
is
the
it?
radioactive.
Radioactive shrimp.
Radioactive shrimp.
What the heck?
So they found that out and spread that message. So
Yeah.
radioactive is on the list.
Yeah. No, I don't think.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, how did we find
that
out
probably
about it?
came out from a hospital. This person is radioactive because they have a whole bunch of shrimp in their body that are now radioactive. Yeah, it's just welcome to America. This is America. You know?
Yeah.
Childish Gambino said it best.
Yeah.
Don't catch you slipping.
Childish Gambino.
And that's what
for
they are
sure.
doing. They are catching us slipping. Because
well-
it's like all of this, pay attention over here while we take this away over here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why most people don't even know that that's what has happened.
Yeah.
And so, wherever they want you to draw your attention to, just know you should look
Because what happened to the Epstein files?
opposite direction.
The Epstein files are gone. But you know what? The National Guard is in D.C.
Yeah. National Guard is in D.C.
Yep.
moving a bunch of homeless people.
Yep.
I haven't seen what they've done to crack down on crime, but I have seen them tearing down people's tents and moving people.
But you know what's so crazy? I think I might have told you about this, that there was somebody who had made a post and he was like, I'm a homeless man. Like, can I, bum some money? It's like, oh, no, you're going to give me a job? Okay, yeah, I'll get a job with you. Yeah. He gets a job and it's like, oh, wait, I can't sleep here? Well, I don't have a house. Oh, I need to have a house? Oh, well, y'all took away all the shelters, so now I don't have anywhere to live. And it's like, well, I used to go to the food bank to get my food, but now all of those funds have been cut, so now I can't eat either. So let me go back to being homeless.
and begging
And not
for
having
money
to and begging
just-
for money, so and then that way I can just do whatever I want to do, because when I'm going by the rules, it's too many laws.
It's too many. Well, it's too many things that are set up for failure.
For failure, yes.
Not for success.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. It's crazy.
God bless America. Sorry.
Okay. Well, on that note.
Land that we stole. Sorry, okay, continue.
Yeah, you took it to a whole other
I
level.
was being very theatric. with
I
that.
saw. So, but yes, so everybody don't know. I guess we brought it. Gosh, we've been closing on a down note a couple of times.
I mean, not
but,
necessarily a down note. It's just
reality.
This is reality.
This is our reality.
Yeah.
And so on that note, everybody, I think that's the end
Yeah,
for
that's-
this week's episode of
Sestra-Tainment.
I hope you all have an amazing week. I hope that you have an amazing holiday.
Watch out for listeria.
Watch out for listeria and any radioactive shrimp.
Any
that could be
radioactive
out
shrimp,
there.
yeah, stay away from Walmart
Stay away
shrimp.
from Walmart. Great value shrimp.
Yes.
and some other brands, but that's the one that I knew off the top of my head. So just take care of yourself, enjoy your holiday, be safe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.